What's up, YouTube? I am currently sweating to death here in this South Florida heat, but I unfortunately had to come out here and do some troubleshooting and actually some upgrades on my Can-Am Maverick 1000R. This is the Max 4-seater, which makes it even more fun to work on. It's a 2017 model that I bought brand new towards the end of 18 on a leftover. There was some dealership buyout, and this one actually just got leftover, so I got a really good deal on it. And I have done quite a lot of upgrades, quite a lot of work to it. But this past weekend, when I was up at my camp, was the first time this thing broke down on me, and didn't leave me in the woods, but I had to do some tinkering to it, and luckily got just right about back to camp, and it broke down on the main road, so we were able to snag it up with the trailer. But what I am working on here is an electrical issue with it starting, charging. Basically, I'm riding in the woods. My check engine light comes on, and it says that it has a battery issue, and that I have low voltage, basically. So ended up crapping out on me in the woods. Wouldn't start. The starter solenoid was clicking, so we ended up jumping it, got it running, and got it back to camp the first night. I charged the battery and then messed with it. Still wouldn't start the next day with a full charge battery, so I thought maybe it was just the starter solenoid. Ran it in the woods. It ran quite a while with some of the accessories on, radio, lights, and stuff like that, and then it just crapped out again. Check engine light came on, low voltage. I went back, it looked like it wasn't charging, so I don't know if I have an issue with my voltage regulator, stator, or whatnot. But I wanted to start with the battery, because I did get back home and check the battery, and the battery seemed to be like it was crapping out. So wasn't charging well, wasn't holding a charge at all. So of course it's one of these just standard motorcycle batteries, I guess UASA or whatever, UASA. I never upgraded the battery in this, because when I bought the machine, I got the extended warranty that came with free battery replacement. I've replaced this is probably the 4th or 5th battery, to be honest with you, but I've gotten them all for free, so I just never took the time to upgrade, even though I wanted to, and had watched some videos on it. But I figured, since I'm going to be going through the whole electrical system, I just would upgrade the battery now. It's something I've been wanting to do, so I went ahead and did it. Did a lot of research, watched a video of a guy that had a machine just like mine, and did a 121R battery. Looked it up. He had to take the old battery out, modify the tray in the bottom to get the 121R battery to fit. And I just had some time on my hands, so did some research and found a battery I thought would fit right in there, and it actually does. All you got to do is take I already took them out of the machine, but there's like some rubber isolators in the bottom for the stock battery. You just got to remove those. This battery, which is from Walmart, it's an EverStart Plus 2-year warranty battery, 650 crank amps. It's 650 cranking amps, 525 cold cranking amps. And it is a plus 35 battery is what they call it, size. If you look it up on the website, it tells you the dimensions and all that, but basically I took the old battery out, took those isolators out. This thing fits down in here, I mean tight. It went all the way to the bottom, but it is super tight in there. I mean, if you lift it straight up, it'll come out, but I was very happy with the fitment of it. Seems to fit really well. So I did want to add a battery disconnect, which I did down here. So I just bought, all the stuff's off Amazon, so I just bought the quick connect for the battery terminals, and then I bought 18-inch long 4-gauge positive negative cables. They're kind of like for a golf cart battery setup, but it comes with the set. It was 10, 12 bucks, something like that. And then this set was like same thing, like 15 bucks, I think, for the quick disconnects. But I just cut the ends off of these to wire it in to here. And I have everything wired up into a fuse block down up underneath the dash up here where my amp is as well. And then I have another like fuse block basically set up behind the dash where all the switches are. So I just needed to have the disconnect to go from the battery to the disconnect, and the disconnect going into the actual the starter solenoid, and then into the machine. Everything else is wired through there. I don't have anything on the machine. My stereo system, which is a sound bar and 4 wakeboard speakers, all Boss Rebel stuff. Like I said, the amps under the dash for these wakeboard speakers in the back. I got the whip lights. I've got a winch on here, the rough country light up front, and then I have another one in the back right there for like backing up and stuff. So everything is ran all the way up here through the switches in the dash. So the only thing when I wired this up that is independent is the positive for the winch cable is here. The negative is all wired up down here. I'll talk about that in a second, but the positive for the winch cable is here. And the reason why that is when the disconnect is off, the winch still won't work, because it has to, the power has to run to the switch first, and the switch just lets the relay have power. So I wanted it direct connect. I didn't want it running up there. I wanted the winch to be direct connect from the battery, because it's such a heavy draw. The winch is pulling so heavy. I wanted it to be directly to the battery, and then just have it switched up there from the quick disconnect. The disconnect is also off Amazon. It's like $10 or something like that. It's just, you know, on off switch. I just put some self-tapping screws into here, because this is real thick plastic here. It's fine. Seems to be real solid. So I'm not real worried about somebody getting in here and kicking. I don't have any like little kids riding around here, and there's plenty of leg room. Just people can watch out. But I wish there was a place, you know, maybe you could mount it back here if you wanted to reach under the seat or something, run some longer cables. But for what I'd purchased, this is where it is. So they come out the side. It comes with the locking plates, top, side, bottom. On the bottom, I did put the plate in there, but I drilled 2 holes in it in case water or anything was to get in here liquid wise, it could drain out the bottom. But that's pretty much it. I'm still having an issue with this. I turned it on. The battery is obviously fully charged. I tested it. It was 12.78. Starter solenoid is still clicking, but like I said, if I jump the starter solenoid, the machine turns on and runs. So from there, I need to pull all this cover off so I can get to the stator and check the ohms and see if it has resistance, and then come down here, voltage regulator, whatever you want to call that thing. I need to test it, check the resistance on it, and go from there. The starter solenoid looks crappy, like it got too hot or something burned up, a little rusty. So it's like, you know, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks for one of those. I'm just going to replace it and then mess with the stator, mess with the voltage regulator, because all that stuff is common problems on these Mavericks. And yeah, so if you're looking to upgrade the battery and you want something that fits in there, this is it right here. Walmart 35 plus battery, and the seat does fit in there. I checked it. I can get to the mounting bolts down here, no problem. The seat is almost like right on top of the battery, so I just kind of got my hand in there as best as I could, and I just kind of marked out an area where I think I'm just, because this is just like an outside plastic piece, it don't really matter. I think what I'm gonna do is just cut here and across, and to where I can, if I need to get my hand underneath there, it's just a little easier. It's not like, you know, where the battery's like right up on it, but if you go underneath the bottom side of here, it kind of recesses up. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna cut that to where it's smooth and down, and it'll be a little easier to get it to the battery underneath there, because I don't want it touching, you know, any of this stuff in here. And we've got the handle. I'm gonna keep the handle on there, and then I need to figure out a way to mount this down with some type of, you know, a tie down thing. I'm gonna have to probably make something, but no big deal. But yeah, if you got any questions, give me a shout. Oh, I did forget kind of to talk about the negative stuff. I just have it zip tied up right here. And what I basically did is I needed to extend this cable over here, because this battery, the way I have it in here is literally exactly opposite from stock. So your positive would be over here, negative over here. I've got it flipped around, but I needed to extend that cable. So I basically just ran this down, and I bolted my winch cable negative, the factory, you know, the negative battery cable for the machine, and that extender over here, I just bolted them all together right here. You know, they don't, you know, they're just kind of sitting there. You can't really move them around. It's all plastic here, so it's not going to ground off or anything or do anything crazy. But I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm going to figure out something to probably mount on the side of the box here and then just run them all together and, you know, mount it onto the side there. But I don't have anything currently to be able to do that, so this is where I'm at right now, and start troubleshooting the machine and figure out what it is. If you do need information on the stator, voltage regulator, starter solenoid, that type of stuff for the ohms, resistance and stuff, there's plenty of videos on YouTube. I've already checked it out just to make sure that I was, you know, make it a little easier for me when I tackled it. So they are on there, and good luck. Peace.